し続けるの限りなく切ない明日の
Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, bienvenidos a Cuenta de Tres nuevamente haciendo entrevistas internacionales. En este caso no me encuentro solo, me encuentro con mi querido compañero, amigo Demian. ¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás, Johnny? Muy buenas tardes, o buenas noches, o buenos días a todos los oyentes cuando nos escuchen. Hoy tenemos otro episodio de Cuenta de Tres internacional, podemos decir, con un flor de invitado, Johnny.
Por supuesto, por supuesto. En este caso, como usted es como el hacedor de los milagros, le voy a dejar que lo presente en español usted, y a partir de eso, si quiere, lo voy a secundar en inglés. ¿Qué le parece?
Me encanta. Bueno, ¿qué podemos decir acerca de Lance Archer, o conocido en WWE como Vance Archer? Es un luchador que estuvo en un montón de promociones independientes, estuvo en TNA, estuvo en Japón, estuvo en la WWE. Es una persona muy experimentada. A día de hoy tiene un montón de hitos en su carrera y va a ser muy bueno poder entrevistarlo.
Por supuesto, sin lugar a duda, Demi. La verdad que es un personaje conocido, así que, bueno, vamos a hacer el cambio a inglés y lo voy a presentar. ¿Qué te parece?
Yes, man.
Muy bien. Now we are switching to English mode, and our guest for us is very important because he had been in a lot of promotions like TNA, in WWE. He could wrestle in Japan that not a lot of wrestlers have the possibility to make it, so that's an accomplishment. So we will be talking with none other than Mr. Lance Archer, or Lance Hoyt, or, well, whatever you want to call. So, Lance, how are you? Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem. I'm very good.
Well, as we said in Spanish, we are very proud to have you in our show because Go, Damian.
No, absolutely.
Being a professional wrestler that have the possibility to travel from all over the world, wrestler, so that's not so common. Well, maybe yes, but in this time, but you have the time to be in Japan, TNA, WWE, so it's an honor to have you here. So thank you.
No, thank you for having me on. I've been very blessed. Many opportunities in professional wrestling all over the world. Like you said, TNA, WWE, most recently New Japan Pro Wrestling, but also AAA in Puerto Rico and Europe and many other places also.
That's true. We have been making a little research in deep about your career. So without further ado, Mr. Damian, could we start with the questions?
Perfect. Well, Lance, in your beginnings, you called it Shadow.
Yes.
How was that name born?
Shadow was my first wrestling name not first wrestling name, maybe second or third wrestling name, but my first real I don't know the word. Important. Muy importante.
Okay. Yes.
Wrestling name. It was independent in Texas. Company was named PCW, Professional Championship Wrestling, and they had television in Dallas, Texas, and they ran weekly show, which for most independent wrestling is not very common. Most independent wrestling maybe once a month, or once every other month. But this company in Dallas was every week, and like I said, television in Dallas. So very important for my career because it helped me learn professional wrestling for TV and for live crowds and people.
Perfect. So as you said, that Shadow was like your important important name, and also you mentioned the professional championship wrestling. That as we have been searching, your in-ring debut was in 2001, right?
For wrestling or for PCW?
For wrestling, no, for PCW, I believe that you. Yeah.
For PCW.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what your first like major promotion, could we say?
Yes.
Okay, how was your experience in that debut?
It was great. You know, I was maybe 1 year wrestling in the business, and PCW, like I said, was a very good promotion, very good company in Dallas, Texas. So it was a big opportunity for someone who'd only been wrestling for 1 year. You know, and it gave me a good chance to learn professional wrestling in many aspects, many different ways, when it prepared me for what was to come next, which was TNA.
Perfect. Yeah, sure. And Damian, speaking about TNA, I believe that you have a question.
Well, Lance, from 2003 until 2009, you were a regular member of the roster of Impact Wrestling. What can you tell us about this promotion, and what was your best moment in Impact Wrestling?
Yeah, you know, 2003, I did my first tryout with TNA. And then 2004, I signed a contract with TNA, March 2004. And it was a very good time because TNA was a new company. It was a company trying to grow to become competition for WWE. You know, before there was no competition after WCW for WWE. So this was first time for a major promotion to have a chance against WWE. So it was a company that wanted young, new stars to help the company grow. I had many opportunities to be a part of many first things for TNA. First time on television, first time regular pay-per-view, like 3-hour long pay-per-view. Many of the first shows that they did, you know, including Lockdown, which was an all-cage pay-per-view, and Bound for Glory, which was their #1 big show for the year. But for me, one of my best memories was a match against Abyss in 2005. We had a match on a pay-per-view called Sacrifice, and in 2005, Abyss and I, who are both very big men, had a very good match and a very athletic match, a match that I don't think many people thought was going to be as good as it was for the fans live watching and for the fans watching on pay-per-view and at TV at home. So it was very fun for me, and it was a big opportunity for me for the company because I think they saw, TNA saw that I was capable of doing big things and good things, and you know, it was a good chance for me and the company. So it was a lot of fun. It was a very good memory, and Abyss was always one of my more favorite guys to wrestle at TNA.
Perfect. That's it's interesting that you spoke about Abyss because it's like well, in that time in TNA it had a lot of importance. So what I was speaking about Abyss. Let's get more in deep in that. How do you think that was that kind of characters in the wrestling world? Like well, speaking about Abyss, that is how like it was in the you know, in the limit of I don't know, like maybe hardcore or yes, but try to keep it more television time. No, how do you what do you think about that the type of characters?
You know, Abyss was always a very good character because he was very strong. He was a monster. He was scary, you know, and sometimes, especially in professional wrestling, you need something more than just a fighter. You need something like Abyss that is like a monster, something that you cannot control and that is just very brutal and very strong and you know, has a manager that has to talk for him. You know, he didn't do the talking back then. He just did the fighting. And it added character to TNA as a show. Also, it gave him a chance to be something different than just one of the other fighters. and he could do more than hardcore wrestling. He could do hardcore wrestling, yes, but he could also do wrestling with. He had many good matches with AJ Styles. He had good matches with me, and many different guys that wrestled in many different ways. And he always was able to have a good match with those different people. So a character like Abyss, especially the person that was Abyss, was very good for professional wrestling, very good for TNA, and very good for him.
Good. Yeah, I think the same about that kind of characters. But well, right now, we will travel to Florida, especially to the Florida Championship Wrestling that you arrived in 2009. No, so and we believe that you have a lot of protagonism in that in that promotion, and also you share ring with people like Sheamus, Alex Riley, Drew McIntyre, Ryback. What memories do you have about that time?
FCW was a good time for me because it was a change from TNA to WWE, and TNA was a company on TV. TNA was a company that wanted new stars, but WWE was a company that had been around for many, many years.
Yeah,
and
sure.
FCW was a good chance for somebody like me to learn how WWE wants their superstars to be. WWE is more than just a professional wrestling company. It is an entertainment company. And they want their wrestlers, their entertainers, to perform a special way. And FCW gave me, somebody who had already been wrestling for some time, a chance to learn what WWE wanted me to be. And like you said, there was guys like Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, who has just returned to the company, Alex Riley, who became kind of a star, but unfortunately it did not go any further. Ryback, who changed characters a couple times from Ryback to Skip Sheffield, back to Ryback when he was on TV. And FCW gave guys a chance and an opportunity to learn how to be something special, and then they could take that and put it on TV, whether it was Raw or SmackDown, or when I was there, ECW. So FCW was a good time because Dusty Rhodes, who was in charge of FCW, helped everyone learn how to talk. And then you had Dr. Tom Pritchard, Steve Kern, Norman Smiley, guys that helped everyone learn how to wrestle, all how WWE wants you to wrestle. And so it was a very good opportunity to learn and make mistakes in FCW, so you did not make mistakes on WWE.
Sure. And you spoke about Dusty Rhodes, and he had an important role in the creation of NXT, right?
Oh yes, and he had many important roles and many creations. He was in TNA when I was TNA, and he helped me there. And then he was FCW, and he helped me many times at FCW. And then when NXT first started, he was very influential in how NXT developed, because the original NXT is very different than what NXT is now. But he was a part of a lot of that. So he saw many changes and helped many, many people.
Yes. Damian?
Yes, well, also in 2009, you joined the land of the stream ECW.
Yep.
Did you dream of being in WWE, working and defeating great legends like Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, and Tommy Dreamer?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a very big opportunity for me. FCW for maybe 6 months, and then again, because FCW was a part of WWE, I had an opportunity to go to ECW, which ECW for WWE was another chance for learning, because ECW was a part of WWE TV. You traveled with SmackDown, you wrestled in front of the same audience that SmackDown had the same night, but it was a chance to, again, learn how WWE wanted you to be on TV for them. And so ECW was a very good place because, as you mentioned before, Sheamus, he was a part of ECW. CM Punk started with ECW before he became as big as he did in WWE. There was many guys. Kofi Kingston started on ECW, and so there were many guys that had opportunities to become known to the WWE universe on ECW TV. And then after, they could go to Raw or they could go to SmackDown, and people knew who they were and understood who they were and accepted them. You know, ECW then is kind of what NXT is now, but NXT is its own creation because ECW before, you know, had a very strong history, and it was very different ECW in 2009 than the original ECW. But it was a great time for me. You know, like you said, I had opportunities to fight Tommy Dreamer, Goldust, Shelton Benjamin, many guys, which was a lot of fun and helped me understand and learn.
Yeah, and Lance, let me ask you, because you mentioned SmackDown, and we could say that you have been in different type of promotions in the WWE in that time. So right now you have the chance to be drafted to SmackDown, and you start like maybe sharing a ring with I don't know, Kurt Hennig, MVP, Christian, the Hard Dynasty, Santino Marella. What difference did you notice between FCW, ECW, and that time SmackDown?
Between ECW and SmackDown, not so much difference, because, you know, it was the same company and same guys that I was before traveling with. If ECW and SmackDown had been separate traveling, then that would be different. But because we were always together, it was just kind of a change to SmackDown. It wasn't a change of companies, just a change to SmackDown. And so now I just was in a tag team with Kurt Hawkins, and we had opportunities, like you said, to wrestle against MVP and Christian and the Hardy Boys and stuff like this, and different guys like that. There was good opportunities, and it was a lot of fun. But so that not a big change, just a change in names.
Okay. So, well, Damien?
Yes, speaking of difference, in 2011 you arrived at New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
Was it very difficult to adapt to Japanese wrestling, or it's easy for you?
Not easy, but not difficult. Also, I before had wrestled in Japan, small promotions. 2007, an independent promotion in Japan many times, and then 2009, before WWE, I wrestled for All Japan Pro Wrestling. So this was returning to Japan for me. It was not first time in Japan, and many of the guys in Japan are very, very good wrestlers, and so they helped me out a lot. So it was fun learning the Japanese style, or they call it strong style pro wrestling. And New Japan was a good company that was really starting to become more big than it had been in many years. And it was a good chance and good opportunity, because when I arrived, there were not very many foreign guys, you know, really only Giant Bernard, or, you know, Baldo, or his name was Lord Tensai when he went back to WWE back then. And he'd been in New Japan for many years. And then now Carl Anderson, who's in WWE, was there also. And then also Prince Devitt, or, you know, now he's known as Finn Balor. He was a part of New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2011 when I started there. So there were very few foreign guys. So it was a good chance to become an important foreign guy, or important gaijin, as they call them, in Japan. And now there are many foreigners, many gaijin. But when I started in 2011, there were not so many gaijin, so it was a good chance and good opportunity. And like I said, not difficult learning Japanese style, but it took a little bit of time and a lot of help. But I enjoyed every second.
Lance, let me ask you one question about what you spoke recently. Do you think that today there is a wrestler, maybe in your wrestling vision, that mix to perfection the American style and the Japanese style of wrestling?
are you asking for a different wrestler that I think is very good at mixing both?
Yeah, or because you said that that how can I say to make like approach to the Japanese wrestling is not difficult to adapt yourself. So today in the television or maybe somewhere in the independent circle, can you tell us a wrestler or a couple of wrestlers that mix to the perfection both styles being so different?
I don't know any names right now that I could say that are perfect at it. Everybody has different personalities,
Yeah.
and New Japan Pro Wrestling has changed a lot because they are more American style now than ever before in history of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And now they have many good guys in that are there. Haku's sons, Tamatonga and Toya Tonga, are both in New Japan Pro Wrestling and
Yes.
doing very good right now. David Finlay, the son of Fit Finlay, is there now doing very good. Juice Robinson, who was in NXT,
Yes.
doing very good. Fale, Bad Luck Fale, who is the only foreign person to ever go into the dojo and do everything very same way that the Japanese do everything when they start for training, live in the dojo, cook the food, clean the dojo, do everything. He's the only foreign guy ever, and he's Tongan guy, only foreign guy to ever live all aspects of Japanese professional wrestling. So now there are many good guys that are coming in. You see guys like Carl Anderson, who really learned Japanese, strong style, New Japan strong style pro wrestling, but is doing very good in New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. Same with Fergal Devitt or Finn Balor. He was very good in Japan, but now he's doing very, very good with WWE. AJ Styles, but AJ Styles has always been good, whether he was
Yes.
TNA or Independence or in Japan and now WWE. Many guys, I think if they're good, their best ability is to change and adapt according to what style you're wrestling, whether it's Japanese strong style, lucha, or American style, or European style. And these good guys are always good, and it's just because they can go into different places and continue.
Yeah, because the next question is regarding your participation of G1 Climax, that you won the G1 Tag League as member of Suzuki-Gun, and you also won the IWGP Tag Team title with Davey Boy Smith Jr. And the thing that you fought for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. So the question that I made before was maybe pointing right now Shinsuke Nakamura, because WWE point him as the king of strong style. Gimmick apart. But do you think that right now Shinsuke Nakamura adapt himself to the mix of Japanese and American style, or he conserve his Japanese style?
Oh, I think he's very good. He was before, in New Japan Pro Wrestling, he had the most character. He had most entertainment value in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is very important for WWE wrestling. So I think he had best opportunity as traditional Japanese strong style and Japanese wrestler to go to America and change. And, NXT is very big now for TV and WWE Network and, traveling and stuff, but still NXT is like developmental. So for him, it gave opportunity for him to understand, again, how WWE wants wrestlers to act, how WWE wants wrestlers to fight, how WWE wants wrestlers to talk. It helped Shinsuke change from only Japanese strong style to now American WWE style, and he's very good. So I think he's changing very good. And like you said, he's probably one of the best original Japanese wrestlers to change into American style and do very good.
Yeah, sure. I think the same. That's why I was asking you the question before.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
perfect. No, it's okay. Perfect. Thank you for the correction and sharing my thoughts. Another question that I wanted to make you, that we spoke about the Intercontinental Championship, the Tag Team Championship of IWGP and the G1. What do you think that has been your biggest hit in the New Japan Pro Wrestling to up to date?
Well, you mentioned, Davey Boy Smith Jr. and I, our tag team, Killer Elite Squad, KES, we are two-time in New Japan Pro Wrestling or IWGP Tag Team Champions. And we're also two-time Pro Wrestling Noah GHC Tag Team Champions, and also two-time NWA World Tag Team Champions. So it's been a very good team that started in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And for me, my best memory as IWGP champion with Smith was our first time fighting at Wrestle Kingdom 7 in the Tokyo Dome, because we had the titles when we started the fight. We had opportunity to ride motorcycles into the building, and it was a very big show, kind of like WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we won the match, so we kept the titles past the show. So that was probably my best memory in New Japan Pro Wrestling to this point.
Perfect. We remember that entrance with Damien. So, Damien, please the next question.
Yes. Speaking of Oriental wrestling, what are the differences between New Japan Pro Wrestling and Noah? You say, or you see difference
Between New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, New Japan Pro Wrestling now is more like WWE with entertainment style. Still very strong style pro wrestling, but more entertainment. Pro Wrestling Noah, I think, is more traditional, strong style Japanese wrestling. Noah is more about a strong fight than all aspect of professional wrestling. New Japan Pro Wrestling is more big, it's more entertainment, it's more character. Noah, when we arrive, is more just fight. And then, Suzuki-Gun has many good, strong characters. KES is a very good, strong tag team with a lot of character. And so we gave, I think, Pro Wrestling Noah a chance to open and become more entertainment with their strong style pro wrestling. But yeah, there was a very big difference between New Japan and Pro Wrestling Noah.
Good. Since you have spoke right now about all kind of Japan, but we are going back to the US. Let me ask you about, what can you tell us about maybe House of Hardcore, Global Force Wrestling, and Ring of Honor in your experience?
All of them are very good, and Tommy Dreamer with House of Hardcore, it's a young company, maybe 2 years old now, and he's very good. He helps many guys over a long time in wrestling, both when he was wrestling original ECW or when he was wrestling ECW and WWE, or when he's only wrestling independent. He always tries to help young wrestlers become better. And House of Hardcore is a good company because it uses some original ECW guys and then also uses young guys, and he doesn't have a lot of problems in the locker room. And it's a very good place to wrestle. Ring of Honor is a good company that's been around for many years, maybe 15, 16 years, something. And it's always been a company that has been in competition to be one of the major companies in the United States and around the world sometimes. it's a company that is kind of changing even now because a lot of guys have left and gone to WWE. So Ring of Honor is looking for new stars and new guys and maybe a little bit different style than before. But it's still a great company that has always been able to change depending on its situation. So it's been really cool to be a part of Ring of Honor. It's been really cool to be a part of House of Hardcore. And right now, independent wrestling in the USA is becoming more and more big and more attractive. There's a great company I wrestle for in Austin, Texas called Wrestle Circus. Wrestle Circus is only, 8-9 months old. The first time was October. And now it has many good wrestling stars, independent wrestling stars from around the country and around the world. They broadcast their shows on internet pay-per-views, and a lot of Eric Bischoff had an interview with the owner of Wrestle Circus recently, and it's a good company that is very young and it is getting very big very fast. And I've been a part of it since the first show and helped the guys a lot. So it's been fun being a part of good young companies like Wrestle Circus or a part of companies like House of Hardcore, because Tommy Dreamer helped me many times over my time in wrestling, or Ring of Honor, which is a company that has been around for many years and is always changing and adapting and becoming something special in professional wrestling. And Ring of Honor has a good relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, so you see a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling stars wrestle for Ring of Honor, and a lot of Ring of Honor stars wrestle for New Japan. I think this weekend, New Japan Pro Wrestling stars are I want to say in Canada to wrestle for Ring of Honor at a show they call War of the Worlds. So it's a very fun time to be a part of professional wrestling, even if you're not wrestling for WWE.
Sure. And you spoke about New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. The one question that comes to my mind right now, what do you think about the arrival of New Japan Pro Wrestling to the US? Do you think that will fit to the United States fans?
I think so. I think now because New Japan Pro Wrestling has its own network, New Japan World. So more and more people around the world, and especially in USA, are watching New Japan Pro Wrestling. And the relationship with Ring of Honor has helped introduce many New Japan Pro Wrestling stars, Tanahashi, Okada, Naito. A lot of these good stars, these main stars for New Japan Pro Wrestling, have now been introduced to the United States or the American market. So, they have two G1 special shows in Los Angeles, California on July 1st and July 2nd. And both shows sold out of seats in maybe 2 hours. So nearly 3,000 tickets, 3,000 seats were in 2 hours for both shows sold out. So I think it's a very good time for New Japan Pro Wrestling to come into the USA because, like I said, so many more American fans are looking at New Japan Pro Wrestling, looking at Ring of Honor, looking at independent companies like Wrestle Circus or PWG out in California or other companies like that. So now is a very good time to be a professional wrestler, again, even if not with WWE, because there are now many opportunities to do things, to wrestle and make good money and have a good time and not have to be a part of WWE. And as fans, it's a very good time because there are many opportunities to watch other pro wrestling companies, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then the internet allows so many times for different companies like Wrestle Circus, like PWG out in California, to be seen by many fans around the world at any time.
Good. Well, Damien, next question, please.
Yes. Finishing this awesome interview, what will be your dream match and what can we expect from the future of Lance Archer?
We didn't talk about it today, but I'm recovering from injury. So, right now I'm 3 months after a surgery on my back. I have maybe 2-3 more months before I can maybe return to wrestling. And if God lets me return to wrestling, I hope to return back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I hope that Killer Elite Squad can recapture the IWGP Tag Team titles, and I hope that I have many more years in the business of professional wrestling. Now it's 17 years in professional wrestling, and I hope I can have many more.
Okay.
We also hope that, Lance, sure, because as we say, you have 17 years of a great career, and we hope that you continue to have it, because I believe that all kind of wrestlers have a passion, that somehow it's being reflected to the fans. So, well, as I said before, we hope that you have a speed recovery and you go back to the ring soon. So let me tell you, Lance, we are finishing right now the interview. We wanted to thank you for your time, mainly because we were proud about that. Let me tell you that we will be sending you a small gift of our podcast. Then via private, Damien will ask you for a couple of details in order to the gift arrive safe to your hands.
Okay.
And we have a tradition here in Cuenta that since the guest give us the time to do that interview, we wanted to give you the last words of this interview. So right now you could say whatever you want to all the fans that are hearing us right now.
Okay. I want to say thank you for letting me talk about my career and all the amazing opportunities I had wrestling. I hope that the wrestling fans that are listening are enjoying professional wrestling wherever they are watching, whether it's WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Impact, or any place. Please just enjoy. Too many times, too many fans and wrestlers always say bad things. Don't say anything bad. Just have fun. Enjoy. It is a great business. It is great entertainment. It is fun for professional wrestlers. It is fun for professional wrestling fans. If we all have a good time, there's a good chance for a lot of good wrestling in the future.
Okay, Lance, thank you very much for that words. I believe that a lot of fans, as you said, has to enjoy more and criticism less, right? Because
Yes.
The thing is, in order to make or to have a great time, we somehow forgot about that is entertainment. So thank you very much for that. So right now we're going to finish this interview in Spanish with Damien.
Okay.
So as I said before, thank you very much for your time and your words. That was so much interesting to hear you, because you have a lot of experience, as you said. As I said before, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. We will be switching to Spanish mode, Demian. Bueno, esto ha sido una entrevista espectacular con el señor Lance Sánchez. ¿Qué opinas, Demo?
Bueno, Johnny, la verdad que sí, ha sido una entrevista sumamente enriquecedora. Una persona que ha estado en varios continentes luchando, en las mejores compañías del mundo, porque la verdad es que no le ha faltado casi nada a su carrera. Pudimos vivir cómo es ECW, cómo es Smackdown, cómo es Nova, cómo es New Japan Pro Wrestling. Así que simplemente respiramos wrestling en este podcast.
Sí, sin dudas, sin dudas. Y bueno, como ya dijimos antes, le deseamos una pronta recuperación y esperemos verlo nuevamente en el ring. Así que bueno, Demo, queridos oyentes, esto ha sido otra entrevista más de Cuenta de Tres y nos veremos la próxima. ¡Hasta pronto!
Hasta pronto.